officially started the plan. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You see, and you didn't even have anything in your mouth. You just did that on purpose.
I actually drank, but I was waiting until you started recording for me to do that. Yeah, I actually thought of bringing one. Bro, I cannot find the ice cream sundae.
These suck. Yeah,
It's
they're
the
gone.
vanilla one.
I'm not a fan.
The can is nice, but that's it.
I know, right?
The lime Diet Coke is good.
Yeah, it's fire.
That one's
So
good.
good.
It's refreshing.
I gotta go all the way to Publix for that shit. But
oh shit, really?
But yeah, I just started the plan yesterday, so I got that. It's not really the training plan's different than what you had me doing. In terms of just like volume, and obviously like it's a new plan, so it's going to be new stuff. But so I'm doing a little bit higher volume now. I had the first day today. I had push day. It was actually really good. Definitely going to be doing some stuff. I'm bringing back deadlifts for sure at some point. I think that again, like I talked about before, I want to go back to a little bit more of the raw kind of shit where like those like. Dude, I used to go in there and like I remember 2021. I went to Texas for the first time prior to my show. So this was like July. My show was in October. And the team I was on like had it split. So like a lot of the athletes were doing the July show, and then me and a bunch of other people were doing the October show. And so we all went out there for the first show. And I remember it was Alpha Elite still, which I don't know if you know anything about their gym or whatever, but they have Alpha Land now in Houston. But it used to be Alpha Elite, and it was just, this smaller garage gym basically, but it was super popular. And that was at the time where like the influencers were, like the Gymshark, like the OG Gymshark guys, like the younger guys, like it was the end of that time kind of. And I remember like this was the last time I like did deadlifts seriously, but I hit 600 and was like I was in that gym and like everybody was like deadlifting, and so like they'd crowd around you and you go and like pull your one rep max whatever, and like just that like hype of it. So I'm excited to put those back in. I stopped doing them because I hurt my back after that, but yeah, so there'll be some different stuff in training. Food's pretty similar. Like I said, Larry coaches in turn like modalities and ideologies around food and stuff is very similar to us, which is why I picked them. Very, micronutrient focused in terms of food. So some different foods on there, but essentially, it's gonna be better too, because I think I'll be much more capable mentally of doing, swapping my own foods in and out and all that kind of stuff. So I shouldn't get as tired with it, but I got to do a health phase first, man. And I have never, not in a long time, not in a while, I have never been on as low as testosterone weekly as I am right
What
now.
is it, 150?
200.
Bro, if you don't forgot about it, the period time that I was training myself, I was on 150.
Fuck that.
No, but I mean, you saw the progress I've made on 150.
I know that, but it's like, even that's what he said too. He's like, man, just be mentally ready, But I was on 750 plus for 2 years straight.
No breaks.
So I had one period of time where I had a 1 week break. And then there was times where I personally, it wasn't like programmed. Like there was a time where we had a hurricane. I don't think I pinned for like a week then, or, little times here and there, but it wasn't ever like hey, we pulled down to 200-300 for extended period of time. So
bro, your adrenals and your endocrine.
That's what he said too.
One of my clients that came from another coach, he has been on 900, and he's like not as big as you. He's tall, but he's not that. He doesn't have that much muscle. He was on 900 for over a year, and I'm like, yeah, we're pulling that down right away. I'm like,
yeah.
And the funny
if
thing
it's a
is,
few hundred or something, whatever. But
still 900 for it's. I don't think I've been to 900. I think my max 7 was 750. Yeah, well, but I did master and I did MPP, I did EQ.
Yeah, that's true. MPP is a strong motherfucker too. I feel like.
I'll tell you a story with that. ex-client of mine that we were just talking with, I think yesterday and today we're still ongoing the conversation, but it's fucking crazy. Anyway, it always happens to me that whenever I start a push and the dosages increase, I feel amazing. But after a while, I just kind of like, I don't know if this is like a mental aspect or if it's actually physical that I'm feeling it, but I just get tired of it and I will feel better when we pull down every time. This last push, I think I was having some not good of a test. One of my clients also as well. I told you about the 400 while taking 300
Yeah, I'm
milligrams a week.
switching too.
Yeah, and after we finished the cycle, we finished everything. We put down and we put away MPP. We took out mass, no AIs anymore, whatever. And I switched testosterone. So I was at 300, and I switched back to test E. Now I feel like a fucking great god, dude.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It always happens every time I come down. I feel much better when we pull dosage down.
What's your theory on why that is for you?
My body just gets tired. It could be either just tired of having so much exogenous androgens coming in. It could be just me. That's what I'm saying. Mentally, just mentally tired of pinning 5 times a week,
Dude,
1 or 1.5
sucks.
cc's. It's a it's a task, bro.
It
It's
is.
people be like, it's okay. It's like it's not okay.
No, it
Like
sucks. It really
it,
does.
yeah. It's like I don't mind the physical aspect. It's just like here we go again, and then ugh.
Even the physical aspect. Like I tell people, I had a conversation with one of the guys I signed up
I,
a
I
couple
I
days
will
ago.
say this with the physical aspect. If I could pin the same area every single time without having any like peep or any scar tissue or anything at all, I would be so much better off it. But
Agreed.
like shoulder, like I started doing the front delt after you told me that you did it a while ago, and I love it. It's air.
Yeah,
So like my side delt, my front delt, and I actually haven't done my quads out in a while. And
I haven't either.
maybe my glutes, if I could stick with those three, I'll probably be fine. But I have to do my shoulder, my chest. I will have to do my quads. I'll have to do my lats if I need to rotate
Chest is
another side.
crazy, bro.
It's actually not bad. It will be like my third favorite after those two that I mentioned.
Ugh.
The lats is just uncomfortable. It's like it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I'm
But,
trying to stay away from the lats as long as I can, dude.
I would say it's safer than many others because there's so much mass in it.
Maybe for you.
Well, in that case, don't do your quads.
Quads were actually phenomenal. I
I
was
told
not
you.
mad about the quads, bro. I wasn't mad
So
about it.
I stopped my quads because here's the thing. So I had the, let's call it the fake test. I had another test E from way back, also from the same source, which apparently it's either, I don't think it's dirty because I still saw it clear, but something in it was not right. Every time I used that before switching, I would get pretty much an infection. Like my skin will get red, warm to the touch,
You probably
sore,
just your body probably just doesn't work well with whatever oil it was in.
I guess. So, but the thing is, I was taking it for a while, and then that one vial, that happened. That's when I changed. Now I
It did
ran
it
out
happen within the same vial, or was it when you switched to that vial that it started?
when I switched to that vial.
Yeah, I mean it could have just been a different. A lot of
Yeah,
times that'll happen
they could
too.
have changed the oil, absolutely.
Hmm.
Um, but it's weird because same lab, same person, same everything. So anyway,
You
I
never know with those UGLs
no,
though.
you truly do. Now I finished the test C, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back to E. So I tried that again to see if it was just that one occasion, that few occasions. I did it in my quad, bro.
Blew up.
That was painful.
Yeah,
Like it didn't hurt when I did the whole shenanigan, but
it's the next
even the day
day.
after, dude, it was red. It was sort of had like you see my quad, and you see like a red strip, bright red on the side.
That's exactly what happened when I started pinning my quads. I started pinning them because of the L-carnitine
Yeah,
because it was a full milliliter syringe of that shit. So that plus test plus everything else, I had to go to the quads. So
Mm.
the first couple times I did my quads, it was that. The first time I did test in my quad, that exact thing happened.
Yeah,
Um, but it didn't happen anywhere else in my body in with the same vial. So also, that's the thing with pinning, bro. It's just like it is such just a mystery of what's going to happen. Like there's no
it's just
avoiding little shit like that.
it can be just like you went through a nerve. I think if you inject into a
Yep.
vein, it's also the same thing or similar
Hmm.
thing. But it was just this one would happen everywhere I would do that vial. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I literally
Throw
just
that shit out.
I did. I went to one of my older friends or acquaintances from where I used to work here in Temecula at the gym, and he used to get me my stuff back in the days. And I told him, like, hey, do you have anything like on you right now? Because this happened, and I am not doing that again. I would go zero test until I
Yeah.
get anything else because I am doing that again. So he's like, yeah, I have some E250. I'm like, perfect, I'll take it. Oh, bro. And I feel like I got right after because now I'm getting apparently not fake, like I'm getting the good amount, and I'm also like not sore or anything. I'm like, oh yeah, that was such a
Yeah.
pleasurable feeling. But ever since
Yeah.
then,
I
I
got
haven't
a
done my quads.
I got a new guy with Larry that I'm gonna switch to. I really just need to go ahead and order some. I have two full fucking vials. I'm like I don't want to waste, but I also don't want to take bad shit. So I got to switch over to that. But that's the
You,
thing with.
Larry told you to switch regardless.
No, I told him the experience you had, and I said like, hey, obviously we'll see my blood work and stuff. Like my last blood work that I got using it wasn't anything crazy, but um, I also have other issues. Like even with my last blood work, like my free test to total test was off, and like I'm not saying that's from the source, but there's other
Yeah,
things that are going on. So and it's just you're having your problems regardless of what is going on with me. I know he trusts his source, more than he trusts the one I'm using now. So, because he doesn't know the one I'm using now, so I'm gonna switch regardless.
mm,
Um, but yeah, I mean that's what a guy that I was talking to a couple days ago. He was telling me he's 40 something, I think 40, 41, and his test levels are like I was talking to him about like is there anything like have you been interested in this stuff? Like, do you know where your test levels are at? Just that kind of stuff. And he was like, I've thought about, testosterone here and there, whatever. He's like, my test levels are 800. And I was like, I'm going to stop you right there, man. Don't even think about it. You're 40 and your test levels are
you're
800
fine.
something. Dude, the difference between 800 and 1100, where, you'd probably end up maybe, 13, 14 with, a tiny bit of TRT is not a big enough jump. Like you're not going to feel that much different, in my opinion, probably, as you would as like where I went from 200 to fucking 2500 plus.
Yeah,
And dude, if I was at 800, I think it would have been a lot harder for me to get on. Like knowing what I know now, even if you're only pinning testosterone and it's like even what I'm doing now at a 200 meg a week dose, if you're doing it every other day or consistently like that, it's just the annoyance of having to stab yourself weekly is way more than the benefit of getting a
yeah.
couple hundred extra migs of tests. It's just not worth it. Like you might as well you got 800 tests, 800 something test levels, dude. Especially at 40, you're chilling. Don't even. I told him I was like, I'm not even. You're gonna have to beg me to put you on that because that if we could trade places, I would.
Seriously, no, I absolutely agree. In there is like I would say like the only reason why you wouldn't take tests at that age or with those levels is if you want to go super physiological levels. Like otherwise, if you
Yeah,
just want to like increase it to like the optimal level, I hate that word by the way, but if you want to increase it to
yeah,
the proper level, it's not worth it. It's like you're gonna take what 50 mgs a week just for like a little bit and have to go through the hassle. I'm like, just save it, bro. Just
yeah,
probably take it like if we are like if there's things like low hanging fruit that you can improve that, and
yep,
you will alone go to like 900, probably 950, 1,000. I have a
yep.
guy that he's on a fertility program, and he follows what his physician told him,
Of
and
course.
of course they told him no test. He did a lab work and he came back at 750. I'm like, he's under his 30s, but still, I'm like, okay, no test at all,
How
and you're
long had he been off test?
probably like 4 6 weeks by the time. Yeah, I'm
Damn.
like, damn, because he was telling me I feel great, I feel great, I feel great. I'm like, okay, keep the momentum going. Like, even if it
Yeah.
starts coming down, just keep pushing and like ride the wave. And he got the test and was like, bro, it's like you're gonna be surprised. I'm like, okay, let me see. 750. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm surprised. That's freaking good. Like, it
Yeah.
matches with how you were telling me you're feeling. But given that you were on TRT and you were taking it, I'm surprised at you. I was expecting it low, and he's
I
like,
am
yeah, I was
too.
expecting it to be lower too. So I mean, if this comes to show that he did not, well, he was taking already the ACG, HMG,
That's
all the
good.
stuff. So he did technically do like a PCP because those are part
Yeah.
of the PT program. But then again, he's been for TNT for years. He does proper things, and his test levels go back to normal. So for people out there
Yeah.
thinking like, "Oh, I can't be on it for too long, or I'm lose my natural potential," I'm like, not really.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can do a blast, and then you do a proper PCT, and you'll be completely fine. Like,
And
just
that's why it's
because you did a
always
6 month
very
blast,
important.
you're fine.
So it's always important. I tell people, even if you're not on anything, get your blood work done, just so you know, like prior to that, where your levels are at. So you can, because I mean, I don't know what you think about this, but like if you're super low already and then you do something like that and then you come off, even if you PCT, I don't see, like for me, I don't see my natural levels being 200 or lower, doing a blast for a year, coming off, even doing a PCT, and then ended up at 800. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but I always have
Well,
been
I would question this. First of all, why were you at 200? You were telling me that you were doing
100%.
English.
a
So
100%.
I would say in those cases, depends what the person's doing. Then yeah, I would agree with you surely, and I'll be like, PCT will not make any difference. You just need to stay on there. But if you did the lab work when you were eating and doing everything like garbage, and then you do a PCT and you clean yourself up properly, not like doing all the things that you're supposed to healthy wise, yeah, we're doing a proper PCT, helping with the ACG and GMG. Yeah, your test will probably come back up over 200. Obviously,
Do
maybe
you
not
see
at
it
the
coming
levels
back
100.
600 though? That's
It
my
could,
question.
yeah,
It's a
because you
huge
don't
jump.
know to what extent you were affecting your body with all that stuff. Some people are
I
more
mean, by that
resilient
by
than
that
others.
point, I was already working out and like starting to eat. Like it wasn't. I like when I said I was. I don't drink at all now. Before it was like it wasn't like I was drinking multiple times a week. It would be like maybe a couple Saturdays a month.
Yeah, but you
So it
gotta
wasn't
think
anything
that
crazy, but
it's not just the drinking a couple Saturdays.
no, I
It's
know,
you
I
have
know.
to consider how much you drink, what you do in between each, because if your body's not detoxifying, that will still pile up, whether
Yeah,
it's two
and
times a
it's hard to
month
tell.
or 2 times a week. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Some bodies are more resilient than others. So even if you were
Mm-hmm.
just doing a little bit,
100%.
that little bit could just be piling up, and then yeah, of course it's gonna shut you way off.
100%. Yeah. And that's like to your point earlier about like how you feel like blasts and coming off and stuff too. That's one thing I've noticed about my body is I don't really now this is just tests. Like you throw in other things, it's probably a different story, but I never really felt different either way. Like even now, it's been a because like I talked to Larry a couple weeks ago now, and that's when he was like, "We need to pull this down." So like even now, I don't feel anything super like I just don't ever feel those big swings. We'll see a little bit after maybe a month. There's two on just a couple hundred, but overall, I never got burnt out. That's for sure.
Yeah, no.
Even when I was taking a ton, even with the fact of like, oh my god, I have to like pin again. Like, yeah, it's annoying, but it wasn't ever like a burnout feeling kind of thing. But again, like this year, I'll probably do some other stuff other than just testosterone. So more peptides too. I know that for sure. I know, right? Yeah, it's already in the plan. I already know.
Actually funny. I think the hype for peptides that was going around a couple months ago winded down already.
Yeah,
Have you seen
it
that?
goes
Have you
with
noticed
everything.
that? Like everyone and their mother was taking peptides, But then everything kind of like they just realized that it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, of course there are some things that are amazing, but you don't really need to take them every day. I'm doing this because that's me. I'm a friend of mine told me. But anyway, no. What I was gonna say about the MPP. So, my good friend and ex client of mine, he was always curious as I was. So we would love to experiment with things that he wanted to try. I would guide him. Same thing as I was doing with Dom. But in this case, I would be Dom and he would be myself, right?
Yeah.
And of course, right now I'm not coaching him, so I have no idea what he has been doing. And he just told me that he was doing TRT, GH, no AI, doing everything, all the calories and everything as I left him with. And he's tried MPP because he was always very scared about doing DHT compound like Mastrone or maybe Primo, something that will
Mm-hmm.
increase it because of his hair loss, right? Same with testosterone. He didn't want to increase testosterone because more DHT, hair loss, whatever. And he's like, even though I'm going to get a hair transplant, I still want to keep whatever I have the best I can. And he's doing minoxidil treatments,
Mm-hmm.
topicals, whatever in the scalp. He started taking, I think he said 50 mg of MPP, and he pretty much immediately felt a lump behind his nipple, like getting I know already from 50 mgs. So he's asking me like, "Hey, do you know why this could be? Like, I've been doing this and this." He did Deca prior, like a while ago, before we started working together, prescribed. I think he was even orally, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not confusing things. I'm not very too familiar with Deca anyway, but he was doing that same thing at 19 nor, and he never had any issues. He was taking an AI back then, but I told him to cut it when we started working together because 150 or 125 milligrams of test, the Deca, and then like he was doing Arimidex every 3 days. I believe he was doing half a gram or he was doing 1 gram a week, something like that. I'm like, bro, you don't need your estrogen is very low. Like we saw labs, your estrogen is very low. You don't need an AI. Cut it out.
Oh
Cut it
yeah.
out. So he realized like, okay, I taking it because I was scared, but I don't need it. Good, whatever.
Yeah.
Now he's like, why the guy not happen? Like it's such so low. But here's the thing: with 19 Norse, not so much Deca, but from what I've read, it's more Tren and NPP themselves. They suppresses endogenous testosterone. So whatever test you make naturally, it suppresses it. So now you're on
Mm-hmm.
tier T. You don't have that high of a level. You have, let's put a number, 1,000. You take
Mm-hmm.
something as MPP. You suppress your own. So now whatever that may be goes down to 7, 6, 500, right? Your estrogen stays the same. So now your estrogen that you have is unopposed by any testosterone or anything else. So
Yeah.
your testosterone to estrogen ratio goes higher. So you can be high estrogen in relation to your testosterone. Now, there's also there are progestins. So progesterone causes more, the estrogen receptors make it more sensitive. So now whatever estrogen you have in the receptors do more, act more, or give you more side effects as
Yeah.
if we do normally. So just by those 50 mgs of MPP, we're not taking, and also the prolactin, we're not taking, of course, any AI or not taking enough testosterone will give you estrogenic side effects, which in this case, unfortunately, is also gyno. But it
Yeah.
could be the libido, the erectile dysfunction, motivation, drive, whatever. So that's why you always, always, always want to use testosterone as a base and increase that so that it doesn't go unopposed. And
Yeah.
always, always, always say no to Trembolone if you're on TRT. That is,
Wherever.
I mean, there's a time and a place, I believe. You don't need it, but it's fun. It's like being Superman. You can break everything.
I know, but I'm just like I can't for myself rationalize that for the average day to day person. Even if they're not a
Yeah, no, no,
competitor
no.
and they're
I'm talking
using
competitors.
PEDs, that's a different story.
Yeah, no. If
You
you're
gotta
a
do
day-to-day
what
person,
you gotta do, my boy. You gotta
so
do what you gotta do.
I know. So I told him that, and I explained to him like, and also with the hair type, with the hair related, I asked him like, why don't just increase testosterone first? Like you're low.
Yeah.
The not everything, every increase of testosterone will cause conversion to the HTs. Generally, just the excess, same as with the aromatization to estrogen. And he doesn't aromatize much already. So even if he would take an AI, it would
Even more of
just
a reason. Yeah.
it would just suppress completely, and we know we need the estrogen, right? So I told him that, like, increase testosterone, because that's your first line of, like, your first move every time,
Yeah.
especially if you're gonna bring anything else. Some people like doing higher, like, mast or primo than testosterone. I personally don't.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also serum DHT does not correlate to the DHT in your scalp. So, of course, higher DHT will translate to more DHT in your scalp, but not necessarily the same amount. So, even
Hmm.
if you have high DHT in your lab work, doesn't mean that you have high DHT in your scalp that will cause hair loss. And last point I told him is, I personally, if I know I'm gonna get a transplant, I want to lose as much as I can from here, because the price is gonna be the same technically.
Yeah.
I want to lose as much as I can, so then they can replace as much as I need, instead of just
In
like,
case that stuff falls out later.
exactly. Imagine if
I
they just fill
agree.
up
Yeah, that's
here, right?
smarter.
They feel this, but then I start increasing the estrogen, androgens, and then this part right here starts falling off. I'm like, I'm gonna have
You
to
got
get
to go
another
back.
one again. Exactly. It's I rather just lose as much as I can, and then they can just fill it up all at once. If you're gonna get a transplant anyway, might as well just get as much as you
So,
can.
like you said a second ago, in terms of it not necessarily directly correlating to the DHT serum, like in your actual scalp and things, seeing that on blood work, how would you figure that out if you're not necessarily seeing it on blood work, just going based off of whether your fucking hair is falling out or not?
Yeah. You will tend to know in the shower how much hair you will lose, how much is in
Mm,
your hands as you shampoo and as you massage
hmm.
it. And especially, like, of course, if you're not doing any treatment whatsoever, it's gonna fall, is gonna correlate more to hair loss. But then that's what I'm saying. If you're doing your due diligence, if you're taking the topicals, minoxidil, whatever you're doing, don't really be afraid or grab a hold too tight of the serum DHT, because it may not be translating and you're just panicking. So that's the thing. The other thing that I told him is, you're taking GH, so why don't you just increase GH if you want more muscle? Just directly that. Don't, you're not worrying about DHT. You're not worrying pretty much about anything. Just your tingly feelings in your hands, as much as you can handle. Go for it that way. And what was the last thing that I told him? I forgot. But yeah, pretty much that.
Grease, sauce,
Great
major
stuff.
sauce.
I had to look up a little bit, but it will make sense that, yeah, if you increase any other androgen other than um like masteron or primo or anything, yeah, it could cause more side effects if you don't have enough of a base of testosterone than compared to if you would. Because yeah, 50
Yeah,
milligrams of MPP is not much, if anything at
not a
all. Like,
lot at
not
all.
that
A
much.
week, right?
Yeah, it was like very, very shortly after he started.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's not much at all. Yeah, yeah. His estrogen had to have been not at the highest place probably already then.
Well, it could be just like a good normal level, but then you
But
have
that,
the
but the
suppression, and
suppressed,
then you have
yeah,
the more sensitive receptors. So whatever you have, it makes more damage.
mm-hmm, yeah,
So it's like, it makes sense. I had to connect the dots a little bit, but it was a fun thought
little
process.
experiment, yeah,
Yeah, not even an
yeah,
experiment. It's just like, okay, why would this happen? And then just tuk, tuk. I don't
yeah,
want to brag
the
about, but
gear,
I I am not very good, like, book smart. Like, I know my fair amount, but I am very good at connecting the dots.
yeah, just
Like, I may
logical
find
thinking.
I may find an explanation without having to read the book. Like, I consider
Hmm.
myself decently good at that.
That's honestly a better thing to have because I feel like book smart is really just I can memorize pretty well. There's no like practical application with it, you know.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean, like, the proper definition of the reason why it causes it. But then I feel like, if you're not if you are book smart, but then you don't know to connect the dots very well, you can get lost in the translation and not know, because not everything follows
Nuances.
the book. Like, we already know
That's the
this.
problem with fitness and bodybuilding as a whole, dude. There's so many
Yeah,
little nuances, and like everybody's body is so like it's weird because it's so similar but so different at the same time.
absolutely. So if you follow just the book, you're gonna have 9 out of 10 cases that do not go based off the book, like word by word. So what are you gonna do?
Hmm.
So if you give me if you have me to pick, I would rather be good at connecting the dots than being book smart. You'll figure shit
I
out
agree.
eventually.
I agree.
Of course, you need to have
100%.
a good base, but eventually everything figures it out. So it's fun. But yeah,
Yeah.
awesome good
That's
stuff.
what it is week by week. I mean, with clients is really just that's the thing. It's like you don't want to say that to people because it sounds so bad, but it's like you guys are really just experiments at the end of the day. Well educated experiments with some people. Because it's like when I put somebody on a plan, I always tell them like this isn't a thing where it's like you're gonna have to do this for a few weeks before we like look at making like any considerable, unless there's like clear problems off the bat. But it's like even if I think in my mind, okay, there is no such thing really as like the perfect plan. Like you put it in, and at some point, it's a guess and check. You know what I mean? That's why we look at the things that we look at biofeedback wise on a week to week basis, so we can actually have a good educated guess on what we need to do next. But I don't know exactly what's going to happen the second we put this in, right? It could uncover other problems that we couldn't see before, whether it's issues with food types, or oh, you definitely need more carbs than I thought, or whatever it is. So
Like you
that's
can
what I
hit,
try to make important.
yeah, you can hit it very close to the bullseye, but more likely than not, you're not gonna really hit it from the get go. You can get a good progress from the get go for sure, but you will have to modify one thing or the other.
I also don't think there's a like hit it on the head, because like if I don't know about you, but 90% of the time when I get somebody, that comes on, I don't get a lot of people that are like in this great spot already, and like I just need to pick up where you left off. Like you came to me for a reason because shit wasn't working. So there's gaps in whatever you're doing. It doesn't matter how good or how bad it is. But what I find like every single time is whether it's the perfect on the head plan or not. I don't think it's so much about that. It's just about like, okay, I cleaned up all these areas that you were lacking in here, and people respond really quick. Like some people surprise me, like they send in their first week check-in after being on the plan for a week, and I'm like, holy fuck, I didn't expect you to adjust this well. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I think really that's all just to like, okay, well, if you're sleeping better, your energy's better throughout the day, you have an actual plan to follow, you start being more consistent, like you just feel better. And when you feel better, you're 9 times out of 10 your body's operating better, and it really shows you where you actually were without all this bullshit going on.
yeah,
And then you can start actually changing the plan. So that's really what I focus on off the bat, is like I tell people like, I don't really, this is your physique goal or whatever, cool, I don't really care about that right now. You're going to feel fucking fantastic before I now those things start happening at the same time is expected. But
yeah.
like,
It's not like you would just overrule whatever goal they have.
yeah. But like if you come in and you're like, yeah, I'm not sleeping that well, or yeah, my digestion's not that great. Like I'm not going to focus on fat loss when your temps are 95 in the morning, you sleep like shit, you're stressed out, and you haven't been eating well for your entire life. We don't care about fat loss right now, man. Do you want to lose fat right now, or do you want to stop feeling like complete shit? Because if you stop feeling like complete shit, I guarantee you both of those things are going to happen. Fat loss will happen.
I saw this phrase from his woman named Kelly, who works very close with Nick Comodina,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
she's
go.
also friends with no.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. She's also good friends with good friends with everyone, like in Texas, with Sandra
Yeah.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
And she posted a phrase from her coach, and I think it goes along the lines of a fat loss phase is a privilege.
Yeah.
And
I, I agree.
you gotta earn
I
the right to
agree.
win. And I'm
I
like,
agree.
that is a phenomenal way to put it. So shout out to Kelly, and shout out to her coach as well. I think his name is Alex. That is a phenomenal phrase, and I'm like, wow, so freaking true. Because
It
really, like
is.
you just said, what are you gonna win from going on a fat loss phase if your body's completely shut? Absolutely
Mm-hmm.
nothing. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
feel even more miserable. And reality is, most people don't know how miserable they are because it's been
I swear.
their day to day for so long that it's become their normal. So, oh yeah, you probably heard it. Yeah, I don't. I go. probably 3 times a week to the bathroom. That's like normal. I'm like, normal where? In the upside down?
Yeah.
Like, are you in Stranger Things?
Yeah.
The hell is that normal? Absolutely not. Normal is
Yeah.
going to the bathroom 1 or 2 times a day, maybe three. If you go four or more, then we can have a debate on that. But
Yeah.
you should be going at least once and feeling empty to the bathroom every single day.
Yeah.
You should be
Yeah. The
sleeping and waking up rested. If you're not waking up rested once or twice, that could be just like a circumstantial thing, like a situational thing. But if you're constantly waking up tired, if you're constantly waking up that you want to kind of like choke your significant other because they were breathing too loud and things like
yeah.
that every single day, then we have an issue, my guy.
yeah. Yeah, the body is so adaptive and it is so good at those workarounds that's what, people feel like it's their normal, but that's just they don't understand how their body should work in the first place. The guy I talked to the other day who was like, yeah, he's like, I always feel like crap after I eat, a lot of carbs. Like my body just works much better with a low carbohydrate plan. And like, I just don't like to do a lot of carbs. It doesn't work well with me. I'm like, that's not, no, that's not what's going on.
You want
Like
to hear something
you're,
funny? And you can relate it to this client probably.
hmm.
Myself, when I work with Joy Swall, he was my online
I
coach
didn't know
for
you worked with him.
yeah, a while ago. Like I think this was 2018 or something like that. I told him because I actually worked with Sadek Katsovic prior, and he gave me a carb cycling, and
Damn, you worked with Sadiq too. I didn't
yeah,
know that.
he actually got me very very lean, and I liked his diet because he put me on like I was like 120 grams of fat, and that's when I discovered
Hell
coconut oil,
yeah.
and I was like drenching
Hell
myself in
yeah.
coconut oil, loved it. And I told Joey, he's like, hey, by the way, I don't do well with carbs, so probably like a high fat thing is maybe better. What did this guy do? Gave me the most amount of carbs I've ever eaten in my life. Was I skeptical? Absolutely. And I got my leanest ever after following for a little bit.
So let me ask you this, I guess. Uh, two-part question. Why do you think that you thought that prior? Was it only because your plan before was high fats, or was it because when you ate a lot of carbs on a plan, you felt like shit?
Second, well, I didn't
So
feel like shit, but every time I would eat a lot of carbs, I would gain weight and connect that point with the second point of like, I went low carbs, high fat to lose the most amount of weight I've ever done. So the first time I got lean to enough to see abs, I was doing low carb, high fat. Of course, we have the carb cycling, but it was 2 days out of the week. So 2 out of 5 days, I was low carb, high fat. That's how I lost the most weight. And then
so
tie it with the point of
what coach was that with you?
the high fat,
The 2 days of
Sadiq.
low carb, high fat, and he was before Joey.
Yes,
So then when you went to Joey, you told Joey, "Hey, I don't do well with high carbs."
exactly.
So, but when you went high carb is when you would gain weight, you said?
I,
So do you
before even
think
working with anyone else, yeah,
okay, okay. So what do you think cuz if you're so you went from a point of, you didn't have a coach whatever, whenever you would go high carb, you would gain weight, then you went to really low carb, high fat on some days, whatever, lost the most amount of weight ever. Then you go to Joey and you tell him like, "Hey, I don't do well with high carb." Do you think at that point you had like some insulin resistant issues? Like, what do you think was the issue that you, other than just like, oh, when I eat a lot of carbs, I gain weight? Other than that, which again, if you were doing things by yourself, you might have had a more well structured plan. I don't know with that coach. But what do you think was like your issue there?
I would say it could certainly be some sort of insulin resistance because you got to remember before that I was eating junk. Pretty, like regularly often. I was
Yeah.
still drinking. This
Hmm.
was 2016, so I had a good amount of
Smoking
habits
cigs.
here. But prior to that, when I went into EOS Fitness and had a personal trainer to teach me how to train, he also put me in low carbs to start losing weight. Right. Prior to that, I was eating processed carbs. Of course, it's gonna make
Yep.
me gain weight if you eat those
Yeah.
pretty often. So
Hmm.
that the processed carbs plus the insulin sensitivity issues, which I don't know for sure, but I can have a good guess. Like I would bet I had it. And of course, the belief in my brain that just connecting the dots, eating carbs makes me fat, doing low carb makes me lose weight. Therefore, eating high carbs to lose weight is not gonna work.
So that's what you. So did you get good results when you went to Joey and he put you on the highest carbs you ever had?
Absolutely.
So if you, this is the point I'm trying to get to, for especially for anybody listening. If you were, let's say you had a client like that, and let's say your issue was insulin resistance,
Hmm.
do you think that that was fixed by first going low carb, high fat? And if you don't think that that fixed it so that you could go into the highest carbs you've ever had and get good results, let's say you still had that insulin resistance going into, like, if you had a client that had insulin resistance, are you going to throw them immediately into a super high carb plan?
No.
So you had to have, if you had insulin resistance prior, do you think that that first plan fixed that so that you could have that jump start? That's the point I was trying to get to,
Yeah.
because I think, some people would take that as, just from the initial thing you said where you was like, oh, I was doing low carb and then I went to super high carbs and felt great and got great results. I didn't want people to take that and run with it, because I agree. You can't go from an insulin resistant point
Too high carb.
where
Absolutely not.
carbs make you fat and then go to a super high carb plan. It's not
Yeah.
gonna. You're good luck.
What I was mostly pointing at was just my belief, my thought of
Yeah,
like, yeah, I kind of eat high carbs
yeah,
because every time I eat carbs, I gain weight. That belief
yeah.
was in my head. But second, obviously, yeah, considering that before I had insulin resistance, but some people don't really have actual insulin resistance. I may not have had
Agreed.
actual insulin resistance. It's just
Hmm.
inflammation and the stress in your gut from the processed carbs, which you clean your diet, everything digests wonderfully. So I
Yep.
may not even had actual insulin resistance when I did the diet with Sadiq. But then again,
Hmm.
a lot of people come to you, hey, yeah, I've been eating this, carbs make me gain, especially women, carbs make me gain fat, I don't do well with them. But then it's like, okay, what have you done that made you believe that? Well, every time
Hmm.
I eat bread, then I eat like potatoes or tacos, I'm like I mean I don't mean I mean like fries, tacos, tortillas. Maybe if I eat cake or whatever. So
Really?
I'm like,
Damn! If I eat cake, I feel like crap and I gain weight. Wow.
even if they
Who would
say
have
like they
thought?
were measuring the macros, yeah, but the reaction inside your body to those types of carbs is not the same as eating fruit, eating banana, eating rice, eating
I
like
hate
real
people that
potatoes,
act
not
like that's
rice.
not the case. I'm starting. I can't stand it. Like, there's people that coaches even online that I see that are just so focused. I can't stand it. Like, we look at real world data and scenarios every single day. Like, that's not the case. Like, for you to act like, carbs and fats and all that shit from, and eating cake is going to be the same as eating, coconut oil and rice. It's like, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I can't stand it because you're you're just trying to get people to believe that the body is simple, and it's just not. Like, it's not at all. Like, back to the insulin resistance thing, like you said, may not have even been, if that was a problem, it may not have even been from, overeating or being, a fat ass or anything. Like, it could be everything from that to stress. Even like cortisol is going to, play a part too. Like, there's so many different things. And I like, when I think back to times where, fuck, I remember I heard Justin say this on a podcast one time, and like, now I'm starting to finally get to a place where I can resonate with it. But he was like, anybody who worked with me, my first couple years of coaching, like, sorry, sorry to you. But it's like, I think back to people before, and it's like, to the point of like, don't go from this to like a super high carb plan, or don't go straight into fat loss because you haven't earned it. Like, I think back to people I used to coach, and times where I just couldn't get their bodies to do what I wanted it to. And it's because, like, they come in, they're like, I want to lose fat, and I'm taking their money, so like, I better give them what they're asking for, right?
Mm.
Not the right play. You know what I mean? If you come in and you're like, oh, I want to lose fat, and you're super insulin resistant, and you're inflamed, and you have all these different issues, and I just start ripping calories away and throwing cardio on the plan, well, fuck. No wonder I had people stuck. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit.
It's just a matter.
But
I mean,
that's,
some people you will have them get a good starting point in that aspect.
of course, of
It's just,
course.
for example, a lot of people they just don't really realize how many calories they're eating.
Hmm.
Shout out to the people that drink frappuccinos every single week. Like, a frappuccino has like 500 calories already, so might as well.
Fuck, dude.
I know.
Holy shit.
I used to be that person.
Every day.
If I
Every
would
day.
tell you like the amount of things that I would do, not too long ago I started thinking back of like, okay, what did I do when I was younger? I'm talking high school. That now I know how bad and how that put me in the position I was. Yeah, I was
Mm-hmm.
eating frappuccinos at Starbucks when I used to go to the mall.
Mm-hmm.
I was having McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's when that came up. Where every time I went to the mall with my friends, and yeah, double quarter pounder fries, whatever, popcorn always.
Frosty.
And in Argentina, the popcorn is sweet, so they put sugar.
Ooh. I
It's
would fuck that shit
absolutely,
up.
it's delicious. But large popcorn with full of sugar, yeah, obviously. Then, not not to forget, shout out to the drinking and the mixers like orange juice, Red Bull on the champagne, for example, on the vodka, stuff like Coke Zero, not Coke Zero, sorry, regular Coke on other drinks and mixes.
Mm-hmm.
Everything adds up. And then, of course, when you are high, then you go to the McDonald's, to the Automac drive-through, sorry, or when you eat barbecue with my friends and there's a lot of beer involved, like we would put down cases of beer at a night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cases. So
And
everything obviously adds up.
the liquids are so like the frappuccino thing made me think of this. For women, right? I think so many foods are, especially those highly palatable foods and those processed foods, they're not super filling, right? So let's say me, a 230 pound, 6'3" man, versus a 5 foot tall, 110 pound woman. We're going to be able to, you're going to be able to take down that frappuccino every morning. It's not like it's putting a ton of volume in your stomach. So you're not even really realizing the amount. And when you don't care about or look at or understand what calories are going into it, it's like my maintenance calories might be 1,000 more than a female, but she
Yeah.
takes down that frappuccino every day too. And now you've used a third of your calories for the day. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like the smaller you are too, those things add up even worse because
I
it's like
always
you're not
I
getting
always
full.
laugh about it. This is funny. Like in the same context of calories, like men versus women. Courtney from EZA,
Yep.
when she was on prep, she saw one time the first time I posted my post workout, which is 113 grams of carbs, and she's like, "You have more carbs in a meal than I have in a day."
Then I have it a day, dude. I swear to God. I swear to God. And that's why, like,
Imagine that translated to your example of you versus the 5'4", I think you said 5'4",
yeah.
or even shorter. Hell, like yeah, obviously it's gonna play a big difference. But then what I wanted to say
Huge.
before is like people don't realize like yeah, calories are calories, but the reaction a food makes in your body is entirely different within the same amount of calories.
Hmm.
Meaning, going back to the inflammation aspect, what 500 calories of French fries, McDonald's French fries, will do to your body versus 500 calories of rice is not even remotely close.
Hmm.
It is
100%.
like water and oil. The fries will absolutely ruin your body. Not if you eat it once. Come on, let's be realistic. We're talking about
Yeah.
if you eat those things
This is your every
constantly,
week.
day after day, or
Hmm.
multiple times a week. It will have a completely different reaction in your body. Hence why you gain weight much easier. Hence why you feel bloated, inflamed. You have the moon face, Miss Periods, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I had and that's the thing. I think you're doing a disservice to your client, coach wise. Like if you're not putting an effort into learning those things, or if you refuse, like, I used to do a podcast with somebody and like he was that type of coach. I don't feel bad about saying anything about him on here because bad human. But I remember telling him at one point, like especially because we were doing the podcast together, I was like, you really need to learn about these things. He's like, just completely negating, like, oh, you act like everybody's walking around with this problem, whatever. And I remember he had a client one time, and he came to me and was like, he's having this issue, and he's not pooping, and all these different gut health related issues. And I was like, this is we could go really deep here in terms of protocol, this and that. Then he tells me what he's eating, and like this dude's stopping at the gas station in the morning before work and getting a protein Pop Tart and this and that, and like filling his protein shake, and like that's what his his meals are looking like that. And I'm like, dude, clean his fucking diet up. within a week, dude's like, oh my god, I feel so much better. My digestion's fine. It's just like we just can't do those kinds of things. Like that's just as bad. You might as well go eat, fast food and shit. Like you're gonna have very similar issues, right? You might not, your 200 calorie, 300 calorie protein bar might not have as many calories as something at like McDonald's or something, but clearly it's still fucking you up. And that stuff is like you can't move forward whether you're trying to build muscle or whether you're trying to lose fat or whatever it is. You just can't move forward with those things in the way. And then you get stuck and it's like, oh, I don't know why. And if you can't fix that for somebody, like, and sure, some people might not run into these problems. Like I remember there was one point where I was thinking like, it's like right when I got into like the mentorship and I started getting more of an influx of information than I ever had before. And I remember, one time like feeling overwhelmed and looking at these coaches who, of course they're only posting the people that are getting great results, obviously. But I'm like, these people can get these people these kind of results, like, and they don't, and I don't know how these clients are feeling. I don't know anything else besides, oh, they lost some weight. And I remember like, they're getting these people these results without doing this, and that. It's like, but then I realize like, okay, that might be a very small percentage of people that, might get those results then. Maybe they're going to have problems down the line, maybe whatever. But I would much rather be equipped to handle those things when they come than, and also not fucking, create a diet that's filled with protein snacks and shit when I can control that. It's like, and just avoid the problems down the line. But if there is a problem, I do want to be able to fix it. And then, if there's not, great, my job's even easier. But I just, I just can't fathom being so stubborn to where you like refuse to. Nah, I don't need to learn any of that shit. Like, come on.
Do you know what the problem is? Those people are usually very good at marketing.
I know. I saw something. I don't
Dom,
know who said this.
Kuza.
Yeah, was it his video? Yeah. But and yeah, they are, which
Like
pisses me
we
off
had
because it's
a
like, fuck. If
yeah,
only I could learn how to be good at marketing, bro.
we had a Q and
I
A
don't like.
today and
I don't
talking
like how I
about.
said that.
No, it's okay. We got it. We all got it. Me and the listeners, obviously. No, we have a you had a Q and A today with from the mentorship from the blueprint,
Mm-hmm.
and he touched again because someone asked about business aspect of coaching, and he said it again. Is like he hates how much how good some bad coaches are at marketing because yeah they show up their own physique and they just know how to market. So then even a referral that could have gone to you knows your face, knows your work, whatever, but he's constantly being bombarded by this other
Yep.
coach's face and content and everything that ends up going with him. And he's like a fourth of how good you are. But of course, they don't know until
Mm-hmm.
they go through it, unfortunately. So he says, like, unfortunately, even though before you would just post your line of work and that's it, nowadays, you have to be somewhat good at marketing because if not, yeah, you will get run over by the people who are really good at marketing.
I was
Even,
talking to
yeah,
uh, Therese.
yeah.
I was talking to him the other night, just about like the state of like social media now, because it's like I think Justin started. I use him just because has one of the best marketing abilities I've ever seen, probably. Um, I swear to God, that dude could sell me anything at this point. And there's a couple other people like that too. Like, I,
Well,
I
he's a
tried to get
perfect
Dom to sell me
example of
some shit
he's a perfect example of being good at what you do and being very good at
and be good at
marketing.
marketing.
Like
But
that's
like,
how far
I
you can make it. I'm like,
he started in what 2017, I think, is when he started like
yeah,
really coaching people, or whatever. But like back then, dude, like even when I started getting into just fitness, social media in general, not even like coaching,
mm,
it was still a time where like, dude, you post a reels, not a thing at that time, literally not a thing. Like you just post a picture of your physique and like, oh, fucking 400 likes, and like it was just. When I say this, it is not an excuse, and honestly don't care about it. But like, just an easier time to build a page.
well,
Like,
even at the
it just
beginning, like
was.
that's how a lot of people got famous because they were posting like the videos that you post, the motivational videos, way back then. Like I'm talking 5 years ago, maybe would go so farther, so much farther, like
Yeah.
insane. And that's how a lot of people build their following, and how a lot of people build their businesses. And even if they're
Yeah.
bad at it, I'm not saying anyone in particular. I have no idea. I'm not thinking of anyone. But even if they're bad at what they do, just because they had such a big following, they made their money based on that. And of course, a
Hmm.
lot of people who started doing that back then and gained the following from that are able to still do that today and still
Yeah.
get good traction.
Yep. 100%. Which is like, it is what it is. I don't have some freaky physique anyways, so it's not like, that would be a
We're average,
thing for
bro.
me, but like, huh?
We're average, bro.
Yeah. I'm very average.
Just six
But
three
like,
out of average.
the height means shit when it comes to a physique, dude. I know 5'3" motherfuckers that look 6 foot online. I've met some people that I was like, damn, bro, you're you're this tall, or oh, you're this short. Like you look way taller
Usually,
online,
open bodybuilders look taller
dude.
than what it is. I'm
I
not
remember
saying,
last year.
yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, I'm saying like when I went to Dallas for nationals last year, no, 2024. I've never seen Hunter in real life before, and I also never
Yeah,
saw anyone posting his height, or I think I don't remember. But I saw him there, like not like relatively close, and I'm like, he is shorter than I thought it was. Like you look at his pictures, he looks like 5'9", 5'10", whatever. No, I think he's like 5'7".
because like how? Because you think because online it looks like how could someone be 5'5", 5'7", and be that large?
Yeah,
Like you, like the size of them just makes them look. I remember when I was living in Texas, I saw Rough Diesel at the Alpha Land because I was going there, and for me, it's like the height difference makes you see them in such a different light when it's in
yeah.
person. Like I remember standing next to him and being like, "You're not that big," but it's just because like I'm way up here and like
Yeah.
looking down, and he's like a mini Pekka, and I'm like Jesus. But no, like they're still like freakily huge. But yeah,
The
the
one that
the in person
surprised
is
me
a
the
different look.
most was Brion.
Oh,
Brion is probably the perfect example of someone who does not look that short.
mm-mm.
Like I was speechless when people started telling me now he's not that tall. Oh, he's like 5'7", or I don't know how high it is. Oh, he's actually shorter. What he looks like, I'm like probably a little bit, but not that much. That's what I mean. And I saw him in person. I'm like, oh shit, they're right. For fuck.
Have you seen Sean Clarita in person?
Yeah, but
I
bro is
haven't.
massive.
I know, but he's really short.
Yeah, he's like 5.
5'2", 5'3".
Yeah, yeah. I saw him talking with a Raven. They were eye to eye.
Yeah. If you're that short, you have to be that big. Like you just cannot be that short and also small. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Makes it look
I can get away a little bit, but dude, under 5'8", you better be huge.
there are a few people that they look huge in the story in the post on Instagram, and even though they're short, when you see them in person, you're like, holy fuck.
Holy fuck, they're huge. Yeah.
Nick Walker is one of them.
Dude, I can't
Massive,
imagine what he looks like in
absolute
person.
monster, insane. And I
Uh,
saw him when he was not as big as he is now. Now he must be like
yeah,
an anomaly.
yeah. Fucking Anton, he's the young kid
Yeah,
Anton Schlaglala, whatever his name is. I don't know how to pronounce it.
well, I think
Um,
World is real.
that's his Instagram, but his real name is something Ukrainian.
I have no idea what his
um,
real name is.
but he's one of the few people I've seen in person that looks exactly the same as he does online.
Mm.
Like he's every bit as freaky as he is online as in person. And I remember when I saw him for the first time, it wasn't super long after he had like this big, because his first show, I remember he was posting these pictures and everybody was like, "Holy fuck!" And then his coach fucked him, and he looked. It looked like he had. Have you ever seen Kevin Leverone's like after he quit, like his in the middle physique?
Mm.
It looked like that, where it was just like you are not anything like what you edited your pictures, and it was purely just a coach's fault. But then I saw him in person, and I was like, okay, yeah, you look exactly the same, maybe better in person, to be honest.
The other ones I've heard they are not as big as they looked. At least back then, are Vaughn Walker. I know
Yeah,
those.
he's not.
Right now, he probably got bigger, obviously, but back then I know someone who competed at the same show as he did, and
Hmm.
when he told me they got pictures, and he's like, "Yeah, no, he's not as big as he looks. Like he's actually small."
He just looks great. Like his physique's great. I think like very aesthetically pleasing.
Great beard.
Yeah, yeah. It is.
Mhm.
It's like perfect.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Mine's a little scruffy. I got to get this. I'm waiting until because we leave. What's the date? We leave in shit like 5 days. So I got to get a haircut before
So
then. But
which date
I'm
is your
excited
wedding?
for Vegas, bro. The 23rd.
23rd. Okay. Yeah, I was
Hmm.
looking at Airbnbs yesterday. There's a couple that are relatively cheap. I'm not looking to spend an arm and a leg on thingy, and I may, if I go, I may just go for like a night, maybe two.
Let me know, bro. I would love
Yeah,
that. I would love to get some training in, dude.
yeah, that'll be fun. At least I
I'm
wanna go.
excited.
If I can go two, that'd be ideal because I wanna go obviously to Dragon Slayer, but then also I wanna see at least New Tech. I wanna see New Tech Gym.
I want to go to a couple different ones.
Yeah, I would love to go to Torture. I mean, I could sacrifice Dragon Slayer for Torture and New Tech. I could sacrifice. I've been to Dragons already twice. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I'll definitely let you know. It's just, eh, I need to save it because I have the big expense of the ticket. If
I know, and that's what.
Yeah, if my client signs up, like
Oh
resigns,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I will.
When?
When? No, I was going to say if he signs up prior to that, I will do it.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah. I
got
know.
you.
That's what I'm really glad that I had the last like week that I did because
Yeah.
obviously, like we got lucky. Her friend came in very clutch. The friend that's having the wedding got us because they had two comped rooms because they're doing the wedding there. And because we're staying at Caesars, so they had two, and
Oh, nice.
one side of their family isn't going to be there, so they let us use the room. So we got that room for like 5 days for free. So I got really lucky there. But even before that, like I said, my last 2 months of last year were really slow. So it's not like I was like I literally have $0 to go on this, but it was like I don't want to spend money here. So I'm glad that I had the last like week or so because now I'm like I can actually enjoy it when we go there.
Are you
I
guys going to
might
rent a
try to.
car?
No, fuck no, no,
Okay. Yeah, I was going to tell you
no.
don't rent a
I'm
car.
just gonna get taxis. No, taxis all the way.
Uber.
Um, but her husband is like a big gambler, a good a good one. So I'm about to. I might give him a couple thou wow and tell him make it shake for me.
You think you
Because
would
she
take
said
that risk?
yeah, no, I'm talking like this dude's like sponsored by casinos. Like, that's the reason he's like they're doing it in Vegas. Like he's like a professional fucking gambler. I'm talking like
Oh,
walks out that bitch with $750,000. Like a
oh,
a gambler. So yes, I would. And she was talking. Kaylee was talking to her, and she was like telling her how like a couple weekends ago they went and she walked out with she like played I think baccarat with him or something, and she walked out with like 20K. Like, and obviously, like it's gambling. You lose, but he's like he's up.
he
He's
knows.
up. Like he's um like has millions of dollars, and most of it comes from gambling.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to see if he'll take a couple dollars and
Yeah,
turn it into something
can
for
I
me.
pitch him for your fund right now? Like,
Yeah, bro. And like for real, like take this money, win me some, so I can get you a great wedding
present.
present. Yeah, you can
That
keep
sounds
10%. Whatever you win, keep 10%. That's your wedding present, bro.
that,
Even if I came out with like an extra 1,000, like I'm happy as fuck.
that's
I
dope.
don't need
1,000.
much. I
You
just
know
don't
how
want to go
much
in there and win
DHT that
and
is?
lose 1,000,
Yeah.
dude. Especially with my connect. I was talking with Larry because we got on the phone to go through the plan, and on the plan he was like, "This is the GH I want you to get from this guy," and I was like, "So listen." Your boy is gonna get me GH for a very good price. He started laughing. He was like, I love Randy. He's like, I've ran his shit. I love that shit. Either one is fine. And I was like, well, then I'm gonna get Randy shit then. How about
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
It's like
I
we
was
have
telling
the
him. I was
proof right
telling him
here.
that's exactly what I told him. I said, Matias has been using it for a while and or a few weeks, and he's loving it so far. So
A few weeks,
I don't
a week only.
necessarily.
No, don't
Has
take
it
us to
only
the
been
end.
a week? I swear to God, it's been a few weeks. It's only
This
been a week.
this Friday will be the second week.
Okay. 2 weeks then, just about. But
Yeah, but
yeah,
I'm
I'm
like 8 pounds heavier.
See, I can't have that right now. Like when I go through this flush and like this health phase and stuff, like I really want to. I really hope I drop a
Bro,
few pounds.
you're
But
telling me I bought jeans before I started the GH. You're telling me you don't want those pounds. I'm like, bro.
those aren't gonna fit,
I
dude.
tried one today. Actually, they fit, thankfully.
That's good.
Yeah, but I'm
Has
like,
your waistline gone up a bunch?
no.
You're fine then. You'll be all
I
right.
don't think my weight gone to the legs. I think it's more like upper body.
Upper body, yeah.
Surely
I
some in the legs, but I don't think that noticeably.
yeah. I went to a wedding last year when I was 260,
Mm.
and I'm gonna wear the same because that one I got a suit for because I was a groomsman. This wedding is like a super formal dress wedding, but I'm not in it. But she was like, the suit that I have is from that is perfect, so I'm gonna wear that again. So I put it on last night, dude. When I put that on last year, like, because I feel like a fat fuck right now. Like Larry was like, you'll probably drop a couple pounds. I was like, I need to. Um, but I put that on, and bro, when I wore it last year, I mean, I couldn't. I had to be careful sitting down
Mm.
because I was like, this thing's gonna explode. And now it's like the waistline is like way looser, and I was like, fuck, I was so fat, bro, like so fat. Came
That's
off so much off
crazy.
my glutes and everything. It is, but then it is when I'm thinking about, damn, I feel fat right now, it's good, but then I feel like, well, I'm also small too, so like, fuck.
When it comes to waistline, I'm happy no matter what.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Now, when it comes to my quads, then that's when I start getting a little bit depresso espresso because it's like my quads stay fairly lean throughout. Like I still
Hmm.
have feathers at 230 pounds,
That
so
must be fucking nice.
it is very nice. So when my quads start feeling loose on pants, then that now is when we have issues. I'm
Yeah,
like, bro, we need to do some changes right here. We need to bump that foot up. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm like, we don't want
I
to have
can't
any
wait
problem.
to I can't wait to have legs that are worth the shit. I hope I can get them at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. With the training,
That
do you
doesn't.
still hit legs once a week or twice?
So there's like it's like a rotating kind of thing where I'm gonna be hitting hamstrings twice,
Okay.
but quads because right now in like the phase we'll be in at first, like he wants to put. I need more meat on my hamstrings than I do quads. Once that's caught up, I'm sure I'll change it up, be doing more of a even kind of thing. But just trying to catch those lagging body parts up right now. So I'll rotate it to where some weeks it'll be a little bit more quads, and some weeks is a little bit more hamstrings. I'll send you what my plan is. Um, but regardless, I know at least hamstrings definitely need to and will come up a bit. So it's my worst worst body part probably.
Gotcha.
And I'm not sure if it's just because I haven't done them hard enough or volume enough or whatever over the years, or if I really just have lagging genetics there or whatever it is. But regardless, it's fucking they're small. So and then a little bit more adductor, close that gap a little bit.
Yeah, I
But I
feel like
think
for you, the adductors will make a huge deal of a change. They will just make it
the
look thicker.
the huge problem I find with my legs is like if I wear shorts, it looks like I have sticks. I pull my shorts up a little bit. It's like, okay, you have some leg, like they're not horrible.
Mm.
But that lower part, like the inside, not the teardrop side, but the other side on the inside. I don't know if that's still adductor all the way down there by like the kneecap, but like that, I need way more meat on because they like the upper like way up in my fucking crotch basically. That gap is very minimal in terms of like adductor there, but the lower you go, the more and more space there is. Obviously, just because of the way the legs are built, but obviously we want to close that as much as possible. So
I just feel like that's gonna be the hamstring. I don't think the adductor goes all the way down to the teardrop.
I don't think so.
No, I'm like flexing it right now and see where I feel the tension
Hmm.
is like it does get close, but not super
Not all the
close.
way.
No,
Yeah.
it feels more with the hamstring, and then obviously
Hmm.
there's the quads as well. I One thing that
Yeah.
I always had an issue the most was my legs from the back. You would get a video of me like from the front, okay, big legs. You would get a video of me from the back. I'm like, what the fuck? Like seriously, I was like, I do not want to post that video at all. It looks like I
Yeah.
had no legs, none. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, that
Yeah.
teardrop, not the teardrop, sorry, that quad sweep needs to come up immediately. But then, of course, your doctors will reflect as well too.
Yeah.
So
100%.
yeah,
We'll see.
so,
It'll be a year of growth, man. That's the goal.
hey, yeah,
That's the goal.
I'm excited to see what the next month with GH looks like, bro. That will last me a while. I'm happy about it.
I know.
Like if I
Probably.
just
What are you doing right now per
two,
day?
two.
Yeah. Are you just
If
gonna
I
keep it there? Probably.
well, I'm not gonna lie. I started getting some tingly. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, oh no. So I will say, if I I'm gonna go per doctor's instructions, obviously.
Yeah.
By doctor I mean dumb, of course.
Yeah.
If he tells me to go to three, okay, we'll go to three. But I'm happy with staying at two, given what the way has been so far and the response I got from it. So even if I
Do you think you're having a better response now than when you did before?
yeah, I've never
Good.
gained that much weight and still have some
Good.
lines in it. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Um,
Very good.
but I was thinking if I just keep it, even if I keep it at three a day, that stuff will last me like 130
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. Which is a
Absolutely
long fucking
ridiculous.
time.
That is a long fucking
Yeah.
time. And if I keep it at two, it will last me
Four and a
half
half
a
months,
year.
dude. I know. That's why when he sent me that, I was like, "There's no fucking way I'm reading this right."
Yeah.
And then I asked him. He was like, "Even Larry's used it. He likes it." And I'm like, "Dude, I've gotten very lucky with the connects I've had within that. The entire time I've been
Yeah.
using shit.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, because sometimes like that's what like when people come to me and like or they'll it's like a TikTok video or something and they're like, "Dude, where do you get your shit?" But I'm like, "Nope. Number one, I would never hand that out to you regardless.
I
Number
would just say
two,
Amazon.
figure it out, motherfucker. Figure it out. Find your own people." Yeah. I'll gatekeep that all the way. I can't be having y'all can't be having everybody have cheap and good sources and everybody's gonna be able to get huge. Can't have that.
Yeah, no.
Can't have that.
We need to have an edge on people at some point.
Exactly.
Better keep it.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You want the sources, you're gonna have to sign up, bro.
Right here. Paid in full.
Yeah, at least. At least.
No
Uh,
discounts.
all right, man. Well, that was a good 25th episode.
Yes.
Liked it. Yeah,
That was a
we'll be
lot
back
of
next
sauce in
week.
that.
It was, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
especially
next
from you.
week. So
Appreciate
you
you.
leave on the absolutely. You leave on
21st.
the 21st. So we either have to do it before or we'll do it over there.
Before, for sure.
Before. Okay.
Yep.
Okie dokie. Sounds good.
Yes, sir.
And if God wishes, I'll see you in Vegas.
I hope so, man. Fuck yeah.
That will be super
Fuck
cool.
yeah. Don't let me train alone, bro. Come on.
I'll be driving, so you can save on the gas when we go to the gyms instead if I go.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, no,
I'll throw you that gas money.
I
Got you.
appreciate it. Or just pay for one of the days in the training. That would be even. Just probably like 20,
Either or.
$30. Not matter.
We'll
Anyway.
figure it out. As usual, time to eat.
Oh,
See you guys.
I have polenta.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. After he posted that video yesterday, I was like, I'm gonna have to do it. It looks horrible, but I'm gonna have to do it.
It doesn't look appealing, but it always tastes good.
It's good. It's so good, bro.
All right, people.
All right,
Peace
we
out.
out. Peace.